Hello, welcome back. Mike from Canavan Wealth. We're going to be talking annuities and 401ks. If you remember back to the Secure Act videos I've done, annuities are coming to the 401k world, and that's going to be kind of a big change for the world. This article went up on the blog, on the website. Should have been yesterday if we timed these videos correctly. And I really wanted to do a comment video about it, largely because this plays perfectly into my April webinar, which is going to be about how the middle class is changing, specifically around how the shift from pensions to 401ks has caused a stratification in the middle class. I think that's going to be a fascinating webinar. All the details are not up yet, but it should be coming out in a couple of weeks here at the most, and it'll be kind of mid to late April. So classically, I have always hated annuities. I felt like they were the timeshares of the financial services industry, sold by salesmen, rarely the deal you think you're getting into, and very tough and expensive to get out of. However, that has changed recently. I won't go into all the details for both compliance reasons and for time's sake, but structured products, which are derivatives of equities, have started offering some kind of annuity-like features. At first, I thought that was going to be the ruin of the annuity industry, but actually they've kind of embraced the concept and started wrapping them in an annuity wrapper, which has solved some of the major problems of structured products. And I've actually started to see some annuities that I think actually provide values to clients. So like so many things right now in the financial world, a lot of shakeup in the annuity world, I think for the better. What do I think about annuities coming to 401ks? The short answer is I'm going to reserve my opinion until I see it in action, because I see a lot of positives, but also a lot of downsides. So the positive aspect of it is I think more choice is better, right? So if your only choice is stocks and bonds in a 401k and that just doesn't fit your needs, then I think the ability to include annuities is really great, especially if they're kind of more modern, better approaches to annuities than we've seen in the past. Like, annuities that were coming out 5 to 10 years ago, these kind of variable annuities were famously terrible. However, in the world of 401ks, now that we really don't live in a world where virtually anyone has a pension unless you're working for a state government, and even those are starting to go away, I would like to see an option where people can feel like they're generating an income instead of just a big pile of money that they're worried about running out. So the concept of it, I am not at all opposed to. I don't think it will be the best option for most people, certainly people that are trying to build wealth and live a very comfortable retirement. I don't think they're going to be a good option. But for a lot of Americans, they really could be a great option to kind of have a better understanding of what's going to come out the other end instead of just some amorphous big pile of money. Now, the downside to this is going to be around the nuances of how 401ks work and annuities, right? Because very often now annuities are really not purchased until you're very close to retirement age, so that you kind of know the deal you're signing up for. And the other part is that annuity companies are very competitive against each other, right? As soon as somebody comes out with like a new super whammadime, whatever, the other companies try to match it so that they can compete for business in a aggressive market in order to get what the business that's out there. And the thing that worries me about that space in the 401k world is that 401ks famously have very limited investment options. Now, the industry has done a fantastic job, in my opinion, over the last few years of kind of running poor performing 401k companies out the door. Most 401ks these days, in a way that was not the case, in my opinion, 5 years ago, are usually pretty high quality. I rarely see absolute garbage 401ks come across my desk anymore. However, they still run the problem of limited investment options. And what I worry about is that people will have only like one, still have this cough. People will only have one option when investing with an annuity, or maybe two, but they're probably going to be from the same company, right? And then the other problem is, if you're going to work like 30 years at a company and save into an annuity and a 401k, are you going to be working with a 30-year-old annuity that virtually guaranteed was, built and designed in a time that is not relevant to your retirement? Or are they going to change annuity options like every 5 years, and over the 30 years, are you going to have like 6 different annuities, many of which the most valuable because they were the oldest, because those accounts have grown more, are going to be these older ones? Or are you somehow going to kind of redefine what contract you're in, each 6 years, and kind of roll your old balances over? What happens if you move jobs, right? Because annuities are famously hard to get out of once you're into, and that's the whole point of the 401k system, is so that money can follow clients depending on where they live. But we just don't know how these contracts are going to work. And are the really competitive annuities that I think do a good job and provide actual value to the clients, are those the type of annuities we're going to see in 401ks? I think in the beginning, probably not. I would be very hesitant right in the beginning when annuities start hitting the 401k world to be, signing in for that. I think it's probably going to take 5 to 10 years before they start figuring this out in a good, healthy, positive way. And I think from a regulatory standpoint, it is going to be an absolute nightmare that I don't want to touch with a 10-foot stick. However, the concept of it, I do really like, even though I don't like annuities, and even though I don't think the vast majority of my clients that this will fit for them. However, I really like the idea. I want it to be successful in a way that I have not wanted the annuity business to be successful in a long time. So I think it's a step in the right move. If you have any questions on this, we'll be covering this on the channel because this is a pretty major change. But if you have any questions about it, send them to mike@canavanwealth.com. If you like this content and want to see more like it, please subscribe and like the video to make sure that you continue to see it. And otherwise, I hope this has been informative, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.